Ticats lose 30-29 to the Ottawa Redblacks on Friday night. And Steve, missed field goals, missed opportunities, a missed replay potentially, lots of storylines all add up to a Ticat loss.
You know, through the whole thing, Drew, I was feeling sorry for you as the beat writer there because there was so much. I don't know how you got into a narrative, you know, because there was an awful lot of offshoots there, as you just mentioned. It came down to a few things. To me, the critical play, besides the replay call, and I thought that was wrong, I thought that was indeed a catch and a fumble, and obviously Kent Austin did too, was 2nd and 4 late in the game, right here, right where we're standing. That led to them having to try that field goal, even if Mayer makes the field goal. There's lots of time left. So to me, the 2nd and 4 miss, which would have led to more possession time, even if they eventually had to kick a field goal, was absolutely the critical miss of the game for them.
Well, I thought Mazzoli played well enough, just not well enough to necessarily win the game for them. He didn't play poorly, like he didn't cost them the game.
No.
But there were a couple of opportunities. That 2nd and 4 is a good one, but he also had a couple of long throws, one to Speedy, another one to Childs. One that was overthrown, one underthrown. He hits those, it's a different game too.
Absolutely, and he said he wanted 3 or 4 back, and I think you just hit 3 of them, and I think the 4th, of course, was when he forced that first interception. The kind of thing he hasn't, I mean, he throws interceptions, but he forced that one. He should not have thrown that ball at that time. It was a real momentum breaker at the time. But you're right. I think he didn't cost them the game. And the offense did okay. I mean, boy, that defense didn't. How many tackles
missed
did
tackles,
they miss?
Yep.
You know, that's not a stat that we keep in our league because how do you define a missed tackle? But you and I both talked to Simone about this afterwards, and he was just aghast at it. He doesn't know where the tackling has gone.
We could do an entire one of these videos on replay. I think ultimately what's coming into this now is the fact that we're coming to realize that there is some subjectivity when it comes to replay as well.
I think that's true. And you always hear things from people that are on the sidelines that hear the officials talk, and you heard that one of the things that 2 or 3 people said was they heard the head referee argue for it being a fumble on that replay. But I agree with you. I mean, there always is, isn't there? I mean, how can there not be human judgment? And not enough to overrule is judgment. That one there, I mean, I don't think anybody thought that they'd call that an incomplete pass. That wasn't what he was challenging, whether it was complete or incomplete. He was saying, that's a pass, that's a completion, and it was a fumble. And by the way, the worst call on that play was they missed an offside by about 4 yards. I mean, the Ottawa inside receiver was, I don't know, he almost ran the official over being offside. I don't know how they missed that one. I don't think that would have changed too much, but it would have meant that wasn't a completion. It wouldn't put the ball there anyways. And I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the way the replay's gone this year. I think you can't stop it. That's a train that has left the station. That you have to find a better way to, I don't know, come up with what everybody else sees.
Ticats now 6-8. They are 3 points back of Ottawa. That tie is messing up the standings table, but the reality is the Ticats absolutely have to win next week to have any shot at the East Division.
Yeah.
I still think they're in a pretty decent spot in terms of the playoffs, but we're getting dire here. I mean, it's not just about winning first place in the East or about playoff position. It's just about winning some football games and gaining some confidence.
Well, that's right. And if they don't win next week, what are you looking at there? You've got Edmonton coming in.
And
you think
Montreal,
that's not a? I mean,
that's not a gimme.
Beyond not a gimme.
Yeah.
Like if I had to choose right now, if you had to bet right now, what would you bet?
Yep.
Right. So, yeah, I felt tonight was a bit of a nearly must win, for at least for first, obviously. As far as hosting a playoff game, and that's what it's going to be, because the team that finishes third likely is not going to get in to the playoffs this year. It's about hosting a playoff game, so it wasn't a must-win for that, but it's getting pretty tight, especially with that Edmonton thing looming right there, because they're playing pretty well.
Make sure you read Saturday's Spectator and Monday's Spectator. We'll have all the up-to-the-minute Ticat news on 3 Down Nation. Reporting for the Hamilton Spectator, my name is Drew Edwards. He's Steve Milton.